Let's talk about another way in which the risk management department may have been of some benefit to you. There was a case that came in 2013 to OMIC's attention. And in fact, it was a case of Avastin injections. And in this particular case, in this particular situation, the physician had injected a number of patients, 42 patients in total, with Avastin. And he had noted that 4 patients had come back over a 2-day period of time with obviously endophthalmitis. And of course, there was a huge concern regarding this particular issue. He took those patients to the operating room, did a tap and inject, removed some of the fluid, sent it off for analysis, and at the same time went ahead and put in some antibiotics. But he became concerned that you had this many patients come into the office with the infections. So he contacted, of course, the pharmacy to say there may be a problem. He sequestered all the drug that was around that particular area. He called OMIC for advice. He also called the State Department of Health and the CDC, as well as the FDA, to notify them there may be an issue here. He contacted a few of his colleagues to ask their sidewalk advice as to what he should do. And in fact, their suggestion was bring all the patients in, examine all the patients, remove some vitreous, and inject an antibiotic into their eye to protect them. And that's exactly what he did. A tremendous cost to him because, of course, he had to close down his whole practice just to contact these patients, bring them in, provide the best care he possibly could. Well, there was some concern, is there going to be a malpractice here? So OMIC assigned an attorney to help this particular individual. And, of course, the compounding pharmacy that made all of the Avastin injections also had an attorney. There was an inspection by the Department of Health of both the pharmacy as well as the physician's office. The physician's office was found to have no breaks in protocol whatsoever, to have done everything properly. Alternatively, the compounding pharmacy unfortunately did have a number of breaks in protocol and multiple deficiencies. So about a year later, an attorney representing the patients called to speak with the physician and said, can we speak to you off the record about this particular problem? So it gets back to that same kind of issue. The physician, of course, called the OMIC assigned attorney and said, this is the request. And typically, we're not keen on having physicians speak with attorneys under these circumstances, but because his office had been inspected, had found to have no problems whatsoever, under specific conditions and under specific guidelines, the physician did in fact have an opportunity to speak with the physician representing the patients. And after that occurred, it turned out that the physician was never sued, never had a problem, there was never any claim. So this is an example of how a risk department can help you avoid a claim, can help you avoid a lawsuit. He didn't have to be drug into a lawsuit with the pharmacy and then have to work his way out of it. It's just on the front end, it was avoided.